I'm Ryan Green.
And I'm Zack Taylor.
And together we are Commander Social. And this week we're going to be talking to you about Brawl.
And not the kind that you get into in the parking lot.
Yeah, this is going to be the Brawl format for Magic the Gathering.
Yep.
And we're also going to talk about Arena.
Yep, that's another thing we will be talking about.
So you've been warned, if you want to step away now is the time.
But the thing is, you don't want to step away because this episode is going to be awesome.
I mean, I'm going to go so far as to say, #HelloDopeLitFam.
Word.
All right. You think they're all gone?
Probably. No, I bet they're all still here.
All right. So I've got a secret to tell y'all at home. Brawl is fantastic.
Yes, it is.
We've been having so much fun with it lately. We had to do an episode about it. And we hope that our, happiness and joy with the format spreads to you as well. So that's what we're going to be talking about this week.
For sure.
Okay. So before we get into all of that, let's go ahead and make sure we thank the audience out in audience land. We are so thankful that you watch and listen week in and week out. It means the world to us. Yep. And if everybody just kept doing that, we'd be super happy.
For sure.
But, if you want to
tell a friend, yeah.
Yeah. And maybe if you're watching this on YouTube, hit the like button,
the subscribe button,
and the bell for ring-a-ding notifications. We would appreciate it.
Yep.
And if you really appreciate us, you can check us out at patreon.com/commandersocial.
Yep. Our Patreon, we love our patrons, and we definitely couldn't do this without you guys. I have a new mic stand thanks to the patrons.
Yeah.
So, symmetry. Got there. Okay.
So since we like our patrons and we want to thank them, maybe we should thank our patron of the week.
Yep. Our patron of the week is Max. Is it Crandall or Crandell? I always forget.
I think it depends on who you ask.
Yeah, right. I think that's correct. So Max Crandall from CMDR Central, good friend of ours, coming to hang out with us multiple times next year, hopefully. And we're going to go hang out with him sometime. And definitely a great dude. I talk to him on pretty much a daily basis. Speaking of CMDR Central, last night we recorded an episode with those guys. So it was Dana, Max and Chris, and then Ryan and I, and we were talking about, what were we talking about, Ryan?
Pet decks. And if you want to go check it out, it will have already aired by the time this video goes live or this audio goes live.
Yep.
And it's episode 153 of CMDR Central, and it's about pet decks.
Yeah, it was a real good,
man, I had a blast.
Yeah, I did too. It was
so
pleasure.
Much fun.
It was a pleasure working with those guys. Definitely, I'm not going to say their podcast is as good as ours, but they definitely were able to feign a kind of professionalism that I've come to expect when I work with other content creators. Professionalism that I obviously do not bring myself.
All right. So that's going to move us on into our Patreon contest for the month of November. Yep. And this one's a sweet one.
It is.
Right? There are real big perks to being a patron of ours.
Yeah, there are.
Number one, you get access to our Discord. And number two, you can hit us up and influence our shows.
Yeah.
And a lot of times we actually reach out to our patrons and ask questions and get feedback and even get things to talk about on the show, which we've done a lot. But this month, the contest for our patrons, I think, is probably one of the best ones we've had.
Yeah, for sure. I think so.
And it dovetails real nicely with this episode. And that is, we are giving away one of these.
Brawl decks.
Yeah.
Brawl decks, one of these, whichever one you want.
Yeah, whichever patron wins, and a patron of any tier can win, they will get their pick of one of these 4 Brawl pre-constructed decks.
Yep.
You get that sweet arcane signet, plus a lot of other awesome
Some
stuff.
Sweet stuff. All right, so we're also on Twitter. If you're looking for me, I'm at Z4CK38, Ryan.
And I'm at Green Geek.
And together we're at Commander Social. We're Commander Social. I got confused from last night.
It's all that thinking of the CMDR Central guys that got to you, right?
Yep, I believe so. So yeah, and also, we don't want to forget about our Twitter followers. We love you guys too. So this month we're giving away a
foil Kenrith the Return King right here, holding it up if you're watching the video.
Yeah.
Super shiny in a top loader, just like we'll ship it.
Yep. But we'll have that courtesy tab and the team bag and everything. It's going to be awesome. And it feels like there's been a lot of hype about Kenrith. I think it would be cool to build a deck around him. If you guys have built decks around him, definitely tweet us and let us see. But yeah, that's our giveaway. So there'll be a tweet that goes out. So you got to
by the time you're watching or listening to this, it'll already be out.
Yeah, it should be. So it'll be, you need to follow us. You need to
like
the tweet,
and retweet the tweet, and tag 3 people in the tweet.
Yep, 3 of your bestest friends or maybe potential new listeners.
Yeah. So I don't know. Pretty sweet. Happy to give away something as cool as this card, and definitely something I want to build around. So yeah, I think that'd be pretty sweet to win that. So Zach, what's been going on in your life, man?
Man, been real busy with just doing stuff for the show. Really, aside from the normal stuff. Last night we streamed some Brawl.
Hey, look, it's all about Brawl this episode.
I definitely want to thank the listeners who came and did the Brawl. Like Ryan told me, he was like, "Yeah, I just thought it was just going to be like us," and I was like, "Yeah, me too." But like, who all came? Let's see.
Well, the intern came.
Yeah, the intern was there. Max was there. Max
Both
Crandall.
Slopes, yeah. Joshua and Amber.
Yep. And then Chris Von Doom was there.
Yep.
And that's it, right?
I think so.
So yeah, thanks guys. We really appreciate you being there. It was a blast doing it. It's something we want to do again.
We didn't mention Ginger Joe.
Oh, Joe Hoffman. Sorry, Joe. Speaking of Joe, that goes right into the next bit of my what's been going on. Joe sent me some mail.
We planned it that way.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did. So, I don't know what's in here. It could be a confetti bomb. It could be, I don't know. I'm a little scared to open it.
I think it's going to be something sweet.
I think so too. So, sorry, Mike, for the noise, but I'm going to open this now.
And this lets our audio listeners know what's happening, right?
Yeah,
You gotta leave that in there.
I'm definitely going to just like Ryan Green and tear this thing in half. Let's see. It's, oh my goodness. First off, it's an Alayla Brawl deck, a fairy deck, fairy schemes. Gonna be playing this tomorrow at the Brawl event because we got to get those Holy Dope Fam card styles for
yeah.
Arena.
By the time this airs, MTG Weekend Eldraine, which is Brawl, will have already happened. And if you participated, you're going to get an email, or may already have an email, with a code to get some pretty sweet card styles for Arena. I think it's an Arcane Signet, a Tome of Legends, and a Command Tower?
I think that's correct. So check out these cards he sent me. This is sweet. This is a foil extended art Hushbringer.
Shh, don't talk about it.
Shh, hush. which is hella lit dope, fam. Also, Joe knows I'm making a Sisei Weatherlight Captain. Weatherlight.
Oh, dang, and that's a foil too.
Yeah, it is. And then he sent me a Mystic Sanctuary from Throne of Eldraine.
Oh, snap.
So thanks, Joe. Man, thanks a lot.
He knows you're a blue player.
He knows. He knows I'm building a fairy deck.
Man, that Hushbringer is sweet.
It's sweet. That's definitely going straight into this for tomorrow. So thanks, Joe. I really appreciate it, man. I'll definitely be texting you about this later, or will it be in the past? Time is a circle. Time's a flat circle. So, Ryan, what's been going on with you?
All right. Okay. So now it's time for your hashtag MTG dad moment. And this one's a pretty sweet one. So as folks that have been listening and watching know, my wife was out of town the past week.
Yep.
And when she got back, my son was very excited to see her. Malcolm was so excited, in fact, that he would sit with her for a little while. And about every 15 or 20 minutes, he would turn to her when he was sitting with her and like double tap her on the shoulder and say, "Mama," as if to confirm that she is still there. I'm not going to, it was definitely a tough time for him. And I mean, he actually handled it like a champ.
He really did.
But, he did miss her a lot.
For sure. I definitely heard him saying mama a bunch while she was gone.
It was super cute to see.
That is cute. Do you have video of that?
I don't. I wish I did.
Yeah.
Actually, one thing I did do, though, speaking of that, is when she was going to get home, I had the kids in the living room and I actually videoed her getting in and them running over to her and hugging her,
That's cool.
Like when she got back. And I just think that's going to be a video that she's going to want to see like years into the future and like remember like what it was like to
before they became teenagers and we're like we don't like our parents.
Until they became teenagers and were super awesome and definitely nerds and also very respectful of their parents, right? Like that's how that's going to go down.
That's always how that goes down, always. I mean, that's how I grew up. I don't know about you. So now we want to thank someone who we thank every episode for audio engineering and for just being a good friend. That's Mike Condon. Thank you, sir, for being there. You're a gentleman and a scholar.
Indeed. Thank you so much, Mike. We really appreciate you. Okay, so that's going to move us right on into a segment we like to call
Commander Rules.
So on Commander Rules, we like to take a deep dive into the comprehensive rules of Magic the Gathering. And I'm going to read a rule out here to Zach, and we're just going to see how it hits you. You ready?
Yep.
All right, so this week's rule is 606.4, and this is under loyalty abilities. The cost to activate a loyalty ability of a permanent is to put on or remove from that permanent a certain number of loyalty counters as shown by the loyalty symbol in the ability's cost.
Okay.
And that's all the text. What do you think about that?
Legit. So my question is, generally speaking, loyalty is associated with planeswalkers.
Yep.
Are there any other cards that have loyalty counters?
Not that I'm aware of.
Listeners, let us know.
Maybe Hound of Condeth. But okay, so I actually have a card to illustrate, because he's a good boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I have an example to illustrate this rule, and there's kind of like a little side case about it. So the card that I'm going to talk about is Chandra's Regulator, which is 1 in a red for a legendary artifact. And it says, whenever you activate a loyalty ability of a Chandra Planeswalker, you may pay 1. If you do, copy that ability. You may choose new targets for the copy. And it also has 1 in tap, discard a mountain card or a red card, draw a card. But we're really going to focus on that triggered ability of whenever you activate a loyalty ability.
Trash card.
I love this card.
Yeah, obviously, as proven by last night. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, that's in the biz we call foreshadowing.
Yep.
Okay, so I wanted to ask you a question about this.
Okay.
So let's say that you are activating the loyalty ability of Chandra Awakened Inferno, the +2 to give a player an emblem.
Okay.
And that during their upkeep, they take 1 damage from the emblem, right?
Okay.
It's a +2.
Okay.
If you copy it with Chandra's Regulator,
Okay.
how many loyalty counters go on Chandra Awakened Inferno?
1.
Well, it's a +2.
Well, 2.
Okay, that is incorrect. And this is why I chose this rule, or I chose this card to exemplify this rule.
So
Go ahead.
Did it say that the adding or subtract or adding the loyalty counters was part of the ability?
So the cost, that's the word that really matters here.
Okay, yeah.
The cost to activate a loyalty ability of a permanent is to put on or remove that many counters. So it's a cost that you pay to put the counters on.
Right.
And so when you copy it, you don't copy the cost of an ability. You only copy the effect.
Right.
So it's like put 2 loyalty counters on, give somebody an emblem. And then when you copy it, it's just give them another emblem.
Yeah, that's what I said. She only gets 2.
Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, gosh, okay. Now I messed up because okay.
Okay, so basically what I'm hearing was...
You were right. I was wrong.
Okay.
You're good looking.
Obviously.
I'm not attractive.
I mean, you can say that because you're married.
You're smart. I'm not. Yeah, okay. So...
I mean, this is my new ringtone, what we just recorded.
Okay, so yes, that you were right.
Okay. It only copies the ability, not the
cost.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So exactly right. So it's not for. I jumped the gun on that, and I apologize. And but yeah, so this was that confusing, right? Even I messed it up, and so I thought that the listeners and viewers at home might also get a little tripped up by this, and so I thought it was a cool rule to talk about.
Yep, I think it's cool.
All right, I think that wraps up.
Yep.
Commander rules.
So on to our main topic. Brawl. Where to start? So I think first we should talk about Arena.
Oh, yeah.
Brawl is on Arena. There are definitely 2 versions of Brawl on Arena.
There's Brawl and then there's Friendly Brawl.
Which Friendly Brawl is basically historic Brawl, which means you can use any of your cards, which I think is awesome. I definitely want to build a deck for that. And so last night, Ryan and I streamed playing Brawl, like I said,
for almost 2 hours.
Yeah, for almost 2 hours, and it
was so cool to have the folks come out and visit. By the way, it was awesome
great
to see that.
Yeah, and it's something we're gonna keep doing. So, like, watch for the tweets. And if you missed it, obviously go to our YouTube channel. We have a new playlist called Commander Social Streams, and there's a replay of that. So if you want to watch us talk some smack and play, you should definitely check that out. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. It didn't feel like 2 hours.
Oh, it went by so
Yeah,
fast.
so
it was so
fast.
much fun.
Yeah, like-
seriously, I had such a blast
Yeah.
doing this. I'm like, maybe we'll do it again after we're filming this episode.
Right.
Like, I had so much fun.
Yeah, it's good.
I enjoy Brawl. Okay, so here's the thing. I think that specifically Brawl on Arena is, I think, better than the paper version. Now, there are a lot of differences that we should go over for the folks at home.
for sure.
Number one, when you're playing
1v1.
Yeah, it's 1v1 and it's a 25 life total.
Yep.
But you do still get a free mulligan.
Yeah.
Which is pretty interesting because
Yeah.
it's not multiplayer.
Right.
But it was cool to see like the implementation of the command zone on Arena.
Agreed.
Right? That gives me hope for the future, right? Because we are a Commander podcast and we are diehard Commander fans. Even though we're doing an episode about Brawl, we still love Commander. And I would love to see a 1v1 format of Commander show up on Brawl or on Arena, right? I think it's something that could happen, especially if they do like what they talked about, which is they're going to start adding in older cards that aren't currently on Arena right now. And they're calling that the historic format. And they're going to pick and choose and add cards. And so maybe they'll add like legendary creatures and we can have like
that would be cool.
Like, you know, Gave Gitu of Spores or whatever.
Right. I definitely think that the cards they add, they're going to think about for legendary Brawl. Like, I don't think it's ever going to be called Commander. I think it's always going to be called like, I'm sorry, historic Brawl. I think I said legendary Brawl the first time.
No, I'm pretty sure you said +4 counters.
But like, I think that we'll definitely get there. Like, they're going to add like cards, I think that are going to help both just the general historic format, but also slide in some of those EDH specials. Maybe a Soul Ring.
Oh man, that would be super sweet.
Yeah, it would. I don't know. We'll see though. Like, I think it's interesting, and I'm definitely interested to see like 4-player play.
Yeah, I was gonna say like that's the one big thing that's missing is multiplayer. And honestly, I think that's gonna be the trickiest part about this if we're ever going to get Commander on Arena because you know, there's such a limited amount of screen space. And even like when you have like a whole bunch of zombie tokens, like I did last night when we were brawling.
Oh my goodness. Field of the Dead is broken. Or is it Valley of the Dead?
No, it's Field. Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
Broken.
And but it's banned in standard, but you can play it in Brawl. And I did with Golas as my commander and got super value. But like once you have a whole bunch of those tokens, like the cards get real small and you know, trying to picture that with like 4 players, it's almost going to be like, they'll have to like reserve an area of the screen on the left and on the right. And then like you can like hover over that area and it'll expand their board state in front of you so you can look at it. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't really know what they're going to do. I could see in the upper right-hand corner maybe, or maybe in the middle, like where the cat is, like having like a square with 4 quadrants. And then you can like click that square and it brings it up. Maybe I don't know how they're gonna do it.
Or maybe like a mini map from like an RPG, like a video game. You know, like you can see like the little mini map of like the whole board state, and then you can like zoom in on parts of it or something. I don't know.
I mean, I feel like they're gonna introduce Navi. hey,
listen.
Do you ever? Hey, listen. Do you have a response?
But I don't know. I think that's probably the biggest challenge that we're facing. But you know what? I have faith in the Arena team.
I do too.
They have knocked my socks off.
For sure.
The product is amazing. And I mean, seriously, just playing Brawl on this, even 1v1 was so much fun.
It was great. Like we don't get to play as much Magic as we want to. You know, we have, you know, podcast stuff and we have, you know, adult lives, and some of us have children. 50% of us have children.
We'll leave it up to you to figure out which 50%.
Yeah.
It's half of me.
And then 50% of us are children. You figure that out too. But, you know, it's nice to be able to, because.
Oh, Arena's so convenient.
Yeah, it's super convenient. Like I just fire it up sometimes on a game or two and I'm like, okay, I'm done. And that's why, like, I don't know, I'm a little sad that you're only going to be able to queue Brawl on Wednesdays. Because
as of the filming of this, it's only Wednesdays. But you know, there is like a workaround, right? You can direct challenge at any time.
Yep.
Somebody on a friends list, and well, okay, there isn't a friends list yet, but
if you know
there will be.
Yeah, it's coming. And you know, if you'll know people's like names and stuff, you can do it. I think that's cool. But like, I was really like, I'm gonna use the word disappointed here. I don't mean to be negative about it, because I think there are a lot of positives about what they're doing, but what I was really looking forward to was being able to grind out my quests by playing Brawl. And right now I can do that because of the special event.
Right.
And I can do it on Wednesdays, I think.
Yep.
Which means I gotta do all my stuff on Wednesdays. But I think I wanted to do it be able to play every day to get my quests out.
Here's the thing, right? Okay, so the arena devs have been like super like receptive to feedback, right?
Agreed.
And so I think that if Brawl is as popular on arena as I think it's going to be,
Agreed.
I think we are going to see additional opportunities for queues.
I think so too. I think the Wednesday thing is a stress test thing a little bit.
That could be.
I mean, the game still is in beta, right? So I think,
it's official now.
Oh, is it out of beta now?
Yep.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's how much I pay attention to arena.
Well, I mean, the difference between beta and actual release was pretty much just like a flip of a switch. Like,
yeah, basically. Yeah, they just flipped the switch and the beta just disappeared off all websites. It's just arena now. But yeah, like they're still implementing stuff, and I don't know. I think it's going to happen. Like I think that it's going to be popular enough on Brawl that it'll do it. And I think that they're also waiting to see how much. So, we talk about EDH. Oh, we're talking about EDH on the Brawl episode.
Ooh, all right.
But EDH drives the secondary market in Magic, for paper Magic anyway.
Well, okay, I wouldn't say drives, but I think it's a really big contributor, right? I think that there are a lot of cards that are solely driven by their value in Commander.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say it fully drives, but I think it's a majority of.
I think it's a big influencer, yeah, for sure.
And so I think that for Brawl, if people get real into it on Arena, that could drive people into buying more packs so they can get wild cards. It could be also, and just cards in general.
Well, and here's the other thing, right? If they enjoy it enough on Arena, there's a chance they bring it into paper.
Right.
And then, they play enough in paper, and then maybe they become like full-fledged Commander players at some point, right?
That's true.
And so I think that, Brawl is good for Commander.
I think so too. Like, definitely having Brawl, most cards printed for Brawl are going to be good in EDH. I mean, obviously with the Brawl decks, Arcane Signet, right? Like that's great. That's great in Commander decks, and I think that they'll keep doing it. Like, I am curious though. How do you think the paper? Because let's be honest here. They tried to push Brawl pretty hard with Dominaria.
Yep.
And I think it's safe to say it didn't really take.
I think that we're going to see a resurgence in paper because we actually have a product, right? I think that now that we have a product to get new players into the game, because that's a really big piece of the puzzle. It's a stepping stone, because if you're new and you want to try to format, like, it's daunting to go build a deck and buy singles and stuff. If you could just walk in and pick up one of these pre-cons, you could sit down and play a game within 5 minutes, right?
Yeah,
so
for sure.
I really do think that's going to increase the visibility of Brawl, like in paper. I will say for me, one of the things that's a little weird is that if I'm sitting down to play a game of Brawl and be like, why am I not just playing Commander, right? That's hard for me, right?
Yeah, I get that, because we did a season of League where it was just Brawl.
Yep, we did.
And in the beginning, it was fine. But I definitely got to the point where I was like, I wish I was playing Commander. Like, but I think that, on average, when we go to Mothership, shout out to the Mothership, where we get stuff, we generally play 2 games, right? So maybe we play 1 game of Brawl and 1 game of Commander.
I mean, I would happily sit down and play against somebody. And I mean, we said tomorrow we're going to go play in a live paper Brawl event. And I'm actually really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Same. Like, and the thing is, like, this is just like a testament to the pre-con thing. I'm definitely just going to upgrade this Fairy Schemes Brawl
deck. You're going to be
deck.
playing Fairy Schemes plus Hushbringer.
Plus Hushbringer. Like, that's it. Like, no, like, I've definitely looked up online, and we found, a Star City article that was like, add these 12 cards, take these 12 cards out. And I'm like, okay, cool. I like that. So, like, I think it's good. And I think it's going to open up, honestly, space for content creation too, which I think that's really awesome.
Yeah, actually, so those of you that are still here, let us know what you think about this episode. Are you excited about Brawl? Are you checking it out on Arena? Are you playing it in paper? We really want to know.
Yeah, for sure. just to kind of keep our pulse on the thing and on how you guys are feeling about Brawl. like I'm actually pretty pumped about it. I think it's a really cool format. I like that it's 60 cards rather than 100. There's a lot of things that I like about it. Something that I'm really liking about it right now, though, on Arena, I like the 1v1. Like, don't get me wrong, I'd rather have 4 players, but right now I'm enjoying 1v1. Like, Ryan and I are playing, and like in 4-player Magic, hand discard is worthless, right?
That's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, well, okay, it's not worthless, but it's certainly very diminished in effectiveness.
Yeah, exactly. But in 1v1, I can just like tear up Ryan's hand.
Oh man, you slaughtered my hand so many times last night when we were playing, and it was brutal. It hurt a lot. But you know what? It's really cool that those cards are available to be played with. So actually, one thing I wanted to touch on is that it's really cool to be able to have it in a digital platform.
Agreed.
Like, I really love that piece of it. And it's hard to sit down and like go through your cards and like make a deck. It takes a lot of time. And like building a deck on Arena is really fast. And in fact, actually, you can like find a website and like hit copy to clipboard and just hit the import button on Arena, and it'll be like, hey, these are the 6 cards you need to craft to complete this deck. Do you want to do that? Right?
Yep.
Like, it's super simple.
Yeah, it is.
I just think that's amazing. And I think that's one of the big things about Brawl that's like, kind of a complaint of Commander players is it's a rotating format.
Yeah.
Right. And so if you have this ability to like make new decks that quickly, that kind of cuts down some of that complaint. Yeah. Now in paper, it's still going to be an issue, but I just love the speed and the convenience of playing Brawl on Arena. I just think it's a perfect fit. And you know what? We talked about it a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Yeah.
And I told you it was going to come to Arena.
What, Brawl?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It did.
It did.
And, I wish I'd had this level of prognosticative powers when we did our Commander 2019 predictions.
Yep. And I don't know if you remember, but I definitely was like, there should be Brawl decks that come out with each set. And like, there's some Brawl decks. Like, I don't know. I don't think they're going to do it for every set, but like, I feel like they should do it for at least maybe every other set.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I mean, obviously, these have sold really well.
Yeah, they have.
And so I think that we're probably going to see more of these in the future, because
for sure,
that's how businesses work. When they make a product that sells really well, they keep making it.
Right. And I think like if it sells real well, because it is a rotating format, you can, and maybe they just make them, I don't know. I think it's going to be a more than once a year print. I mean, a product, just because, I don't know. I mean, but maybe it's not. Maybe it is a once a year product, and they do it at rotation.
Is this a Zack A1 bold prediction?
I don't think it's a bold prediction so much as just a what's going to happen.
Okay, all right,
yeah.
Okay, so maybe we should talk a little bit about the decks we played last night.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a whole lot of fun. Yeah. I actually played a Golos Field of the Dead deck.
Yeah.
And it was really cool to be able to play 5 colors. And another thing, I just loved not having to shuffle like after fetching stuff.
Yeah.
So nice. Like, there are some really big positives to a digital version of this.
It really is.
And yeah, like having the land base and playing a whole bunch of ramp. And man, Oko is real good in Brawl.
Yeah.
Man, that card's real good. And I got that and like making food tokens. And yeah, the deck itself was just really sweet. And like something that was like surprisingly good was like flipping Casualties of War when I activated Golos's 5-color ability. It was like, okay, I'm going to blow up your mana rock and your land and your commander. And for 0 mana, that felt like real good.
Yeah, like that definitely, like I had plans and you definitely ruined them. Like I was like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. And then Ryan does this and I'm like, well, let me pivot my plan to just dying.
I took your plans and I was like, threw them on the ground.
Yup. Happy birthday to the ground.
So let's talk a little bit about your Yarok the Desecrated deck.
I made a Yarok deck. Straight up net decked it. Nothing wrong with that. No shame. Because I don't know, that's what I wanted to build, was a Yarok deck. And
it is Sultai, your favorite wedge, right?
Yeah.
Or is that that's a wedge?
No, Sultai's a cons thing.
Yeah, the original ones are shards. And then,
okay, you're right.
Yep.
It's my favorite wedge. My favorite shards, Esper.
Yep, that's right. Mm-hmm.
So I built a Yarok deck, and the cool thing about the deck is I've definitely said this before about Yarok as an EDH deck. Yarok himself, or itself, I guess, is a win more card. The cards in my deck are pretty good. There's a lot of enters the battlefield stuff. There's a lot of hand destruction that comes in, and
There's a lot of the Great Henge.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Like every game I get the Great Hinge. It's great. And most of my plans like in that deck revolve around getting the Great Hinge out because it's just so good. Like I wanted one on paper for a deck and I was like, yeah, I'll get that eventually. It's not that big of a deal. But seeing how it's played in Brawl is just insane. Are you looking at what Great Hinge does? I'm gonna keep talking about the glory of Great Hinge. Like 2 life, 2 green mana, the fact that you can cast it for super cheap possibly. Like there were multiple times I cast it for green.
Okay, so the Great Henge is 7 green for a legendary artifact. The spell costs X less to cast, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. Tap, add green to your mana pool. You gain 2 life. Whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on it and draw a card.
Yep.
Man, that's really good.
Right, and when Yarok's out, it's draw 2 cards and put 2 +1/+1 counters on something. And it's just brutal. Like it's jacked Ryan in the face a couple of times.
I mean, the card feels really hard to come back from. Like when you're sitting across from, you're like, I need a way to kill this.
Yeah. What I need to put in that deck is I need Planeswalker removal. Why don't you tell them about your mono red?
Okay. So the very first deck I played when we did our stream in Brawl, and you guys could go watch it. And actually, I guess we'll put a link in the show notes here.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Yeah, we'll do that.
But just go check out the YouTube channel in the streams.
Commander Social streams.
Yep. So it is helmed by Chandra Awakened Inferno, and I had a game where I used Ironcrag Feat, which is 1 red for a sorcery that adds 7 red mana to your mana pool, but you can only play 1 more spell this turn. And that's pretty good when your commander costs 6, right?
Yeah.
Like on turn 4, I don't remember if I was on the play or not, but cast the Awakened Inferno, got Chandra down, and then immediately +2, so she's got 8 loyalty. And then a turn or 2 later, I drew Chandra's Regulator, which we've already talked about this episode.
Yep.
And so it's like, okay, let's put 2 on 2 emblems on you in addition to the one that's already on there. And it just really snowballed from there. I think at some point I had 9 emblems on you.
Yeah. It was
it's really hard to win that game, but man, that was so much fun. And
it was
like, that's like the kind of like EDH level, like power.
Agreed.
And you're doing that in Brawl. So, if you're hesitant to try Brawl and you're a commander player,
you can do powerful things.
Yeah. Like the power is there and the fun is there and the stories are there. And on Arena, the convenience is there.
Yeah, for sure. Like I'll put it this way: I'm building a deck. I was like talking about there was some smack talk about me building a mono blue deck in the chat,
in the Twitch chat.
Yeah, in the Twitch chat, and I was like, well, I'll make one, and it did take a long time, but that was not Arena's fault. That was my fault. So what I did was I didn't realize it wasn't auto putting lands in, so I definitely built a 60 card deck with like. I put like Blast Zone, the Emergent Zone, and Command Tower, which there's no reason for Command Tower in a mono blue deck, which Ryan asked me about. And I was like, oh. And then I was like, crud. And then I narrowed it down to the number of cards. And then I was like, and put the lines, and I was like, okay. And then it wouldn't let me play. I was like, what? And then I realized it was in the sideboard. So if you want to see how to import and export a deck, that is definitely in there. Maybe we'll make an instructional video about it and put it.
Probably should.
Yeah, like I may do that later. And once I got it going, like honestly, it didn't take that long, and it was a mill deck. I didn't do super great because during the time that I'm doing all this, Ryan too also had time to build a deck.
Yeah, and I can actually list the contents of the deck for you right here.
Yeah,
it was Fibblethip at the helm as the commander, 35 persistent petitioners, and 24 islands. That was the deck.
Yeah.
And you didn't have a whole lot of interaction in mono blue.
Nope.
And
you got Riggedy Rag.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. It was really good.
I hope Cyclonic Rift is one of those historic cards. It's not going to be. Oh man, when I flooded Tears you, it like bought me a turn, but I still died.
Yeah, at that point, I think I was holding like 12 persistent petitioners in my hands.
Yeah.
And I was like, yep, this game's pretty over.
And I screwed up by tapping out to do that because I had a End of Tales, I believe, to it's a magic card that you can counter abilities with. I was going to counter the ability when you tried to hit me for 12.
When you tap 4 persistent petitioners to mill somebody for 12 cards, yeah.
Yeah, true story. After we filmed, I built my own persistent petitioners deck with it has 24 persistent petitioners, 24 lands, and then I did a search on the cards on mono blue cards and artifacts that said graveyard, and I was like, okay, which ones of these mill? So it's got like drowned is it secret drownings or drowning secrets?
Yeah, and then like Merfolk Secret Keeper.
Yep. Like I did a bunch of stuff, and I'll show those cards on the side, so don't worry about that. But sorry, audio listeners, you're gonna have to look them up. Sorry, Lee. But yeah, Brawl is great. Like I really expected to be kind of meh on it when it came to Arena, but I just had so much fun, and it really scratched the Magic playing itch for me.
Yeah, and here's another thing. So the day of the launch, I guess, which was Thursday, which at the time we're recording this was yesterday. I actually watched quite a few streamers like playing it, right? And
that's awesome.
It was really fun to watch. Like even not just playing, just like watching other people play Brawl was really fun. And here's the other thing. Like I think there is a lot of decks design space out there.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Yeah.
Like I have like 3 or 4 decks now, and I'm like itching to build more. And it's so fun and fast to build the decks.
Right.
Like I can't like net decking is super easy.
Yeah, it is.
And like here's the other bit. Okay, so let's talk about that first and remind me. I have a thing I'll come back to.
Okay. You're Ryan.
Yeah.
You have a thing you're gonna come back to.
All right. Thanks, Zach. I appreciate that.
I do my best.
So I think like a black white Sorin Planeswalker deck is probably out there.
Sure.
I'm thinking maybe like some sort of like Kaikar Fires of Invention deck is something I'm looking into.
Yeah, maybe a Feather the Redeemed.
Oh yeah, and that deck would probably be pretty cheap. Although I don't know how many of the cards that target Feather are like
that's
from
true.
older sets.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I think there's a lot of diversity out there, and when you're not like going for like cutthroat like events or whatever,
right.
Like you can actually just have fun.
Yeah.
And the fact that you can play Planeswalkers as your commander in Brawl actually opens up like a lot of decks that you can't play elsewhere. And I don't know, I'm like looking for it. Like I think I actually want to build an Oko deck, right? Because like that card played awesome, and I'd like to have that in my command zone every game. Like that sounds like something that you'd like to play against, right?
Yeah, I mean, no, it sounds like something I want to build, but it's so good. Like I just can't say enough how much fun it is, because it is just that easy. It's a copy and then a button click and then like this deck's in your stuff. And honestly, with the design space and the limited card pool, I feel like it's like one of those like limitations that breed creativity. Like I think there is a lot of space, and I think you can also build, people who don't have, and I don't really have a great collection on Arena, and that's why I was looking forward to grinding every day with Brawl. But
well, actually, so that was actually the thing I was going to talk about. That was the thing I was going to go back to, which is this finally gives me a reason to spend my wild cards, because I've played a bunch of Arena and I try to keep up with my daily quests. Actually, I'm going to tell you, there's some times when I like, I game the system to just get them over with as quick as possible, because like one of them was like, play 25 lands, and I'm like, build a deck with 60 planes, go. Right?
Have you actually done that?
Yes.
Wow.
Because I just want to get them out of the way and get the gold earned, and then get back to playing the thing I want to play.
That's true. I
right?
get that.
And I'm giving somebody else I play against free wins, so I think that's fine.
Yeah.
But I had all these wild cards because I drafted a bunch and I did my daily quest and I had a lot of gold, but I'm not super interested in standard.
Right.
Right. And so now that there's something else on Arena that appeals to me, i.e. Brawl,
right,
I have a reason to like spend my cards. And man, I spent a bunch of them making these decks, and I'm now like, I kind of want to play some more so I can get some more wild cards to make more decks. And that is a really nice feeling, because the limited experience on Arena is really good, right? Except for you're not drafting against humans, you're drafting against bots.
But that's coming. Like that's coming soon, isn't it? Didn't they announce it?
They said it's on their list of things. I don't think they've announced a date.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But like it felt nice to like have these cards that, these wild cards that I wanted to spend.
Yeah.
And like, for example, I have 4 vaults unopened on Arena, because you just like make vault progress when you open up additional commons or uncommons or rares that you already have.
Yeah.
And I have no reason to open the vaults because I haven't had anything I wanted to craft, because Arena's mostly been a limited experience for me. And I like limited is my second love, right? I love Commander or Singleton formats, and then Limited is like my bread and butter. I played it so much, growing up being a Magic player, and the implementation on Arena is really good, and it's really awesome to be able to like sit down, play a game, even if it's like a best of one game.
Yeah,
play for like 15-20 minutes, and then go do some adulting.
Yeah, I mean, like that's how I feel about it. It's like I'll have a little bit of time. Like I have 15 minutes where I have to leave to go somewhere. Let me just bust out a game real quick. If I could do that with Brawl, that'd be amazing. But I don't mind doing it with standard. I draft some. I've done more standard and stuff. But yeah, the same thing. I've been like saving all of my wild cards because I'm like, I'm not gonna build another standard deck. Like I don't care. And then I definitely like just cleared the cache of them to build my second Layla deck. And I definitely use some for the Yarok deck as well.
Do you want to talk about your Layla deck a little bit?
Oh yeah. My Layla deck's it's pretty sure I feel like I'm still getting the feel of it. Again, it was net decked, so I'm still.
There was one time I used Agent of Treachery, the
oh my gosh,
the 5 blue 2/3 that when it comes into play you get to gain control of a creature that your opponent controls, and then you use Stolen by the Fae to bounce the Alayla that I stole, to make 4 fairies, and then replay the Alayla. And then pump all those fairies, and I was like, "Oh, look at this huge swingy stuff!" And like that's commander level power, right? Like it felt like we were playing a one-on-one commander game.
Yeah, it really. And I did the what guy did you say you stole it with?
Agent of Treachery.
Right. I definitely played my own Agent of Treachery and stole it back one time.
Yep.
It's just fun. Like it's not as good as the EDH deck I built. Well, it's not. I guess it's different, but. It's just got fun stuff. It's got a bunch of enchantments. It's gonna have a Hushbringer in it, and things like that, and like real cheap enchantments, real cheap artifacts, Marox, and it was a lot of fun. It played pretty well. I made a lot of fairy tokens. True story: 1/1 fairy tokens do not kill 2/2 zombies. So
yeah, they have to team up.
Yeah, and sometimes you can't because zombies have gotten so wide.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So, is there anything else that you want to hit up on this episode? Like, is there anything else you're thinking about?
No, honestly, I think that's it for Brawl. I just, like we've been stressing, even if Brawl doesn't sound like your thing, like try it, like give it a shot, try something new. You can't say you don't like something you haven't tried. I mean, you can, but you probably shouldn't. So give it. We think you should give it a try. We love Commander. We do, right?
Absolutely. Okay. Yeah. I mean, we've been doing this for a long time, and we do it every week. And this takes a fair bit of work. We wouldn't do it if we didn't love Commander.
Yeah, exactly. But love Brawl too. You can have two. You can love two things.
Here's the thing. Okay, so we were sitting there and we're like, Brawl's going to go live, and we should really support it, and we should try it out.
Yeah.
And like I was expecting it to be fun, and I had a lot of fun like when we were kind of like setting up the stream and testing before the first day of launch.
Right.
But when we actually did it and we actually got to see the commanders be in the command zone, we got to play it and we got to be live on stream and we got to have all of our wonderful audience come join us. It was really special.
It was amazing. Yeah.
It was way better than I thought it was going to be.
Yep.
And I definitely want to do it some more. And actually, something that I've been thinking about, I think that I want to get our patrons involved and maybe do like a tournament for our patrons.
Yeah, I think that would be really sweet. We've definitely been talking about that. So, patrons, let us know in Discord what you think.
Or you can message us directly through Patreon as well.
Yeah, or on Twitter or whatever. So I definitely think that brings us to a close here on Brawl. Like I said, we like it a lot. We hope that you enjoyed the episode. Thank you so much for staying and watching this long. So.
Special thanks to our super patrons. You can check us out at patreon.com/commandersocial and join at the Your Name in Lights tier if you want to be here as well.
If you want to help us out, definitely, Ryan.
Remember to hit the like button,
the subscribe button,
and the bell for ring-a-ding notifications.
Yep. So, individually, if you're looking for me, I'm at Z4CK on Twitter.
I'm at Green Geek.
And together we're at Commander Social. So until next week, this is Zack and Ryan saying,
keep it social.